Hey guys, welcome back to Duke the Interior Designer. This is another time to learn something new, and today I want us to create an office desk, an executive office desk. Welcome, and for those who have been subscribing to my channel, thanks a lot, and also for those who are watching, thank you. Inform your friends so that we can continue learning together. Let's get started. I've already done part of the work, and this is what I've done. I've gone to my ground floor and made a sample of the desk that we are drawing. This is an executive desk that has the main desk and a return. It will have some shelves and also a writing pad. And also I'm thinking I've also decided to do the coordinates for ease of remembrance. Anything that falls within this area, let me show you this area from here up to here, that is the coordinates will be minus a minus b. If you go to the left, it's positive a minus b, and then this other side is a positive, b positive, this side is negative a and b. I've also gone ahead and did the parameters for us to make it easier for us, so that we don't spend so much time writing. I have the descriptive, and anything else that we may need to write, we'll just do it together. And then we have the project 3 to 70. This, we said, it helps us to see anything on 2D here. If you draw anything and you click on this 2D view, you'll be able to see it. And now we can start doing our desk. Now we go to the 3D panel, and as we've already said, we start with several things, like you can determine the pen. Let's put the pen, and for us we've written cont pen. I can show you parameters. Cont pen is this one. This is the pen that we'll be using for our object. And then we need to determine the toiler. Toiler is used for making sure that any curved areas are very smooth. So, and I always like working with 0001. The third item that we need is to write the go subs. We use ribbon 100. This will represent the top. You can go to another one, go sub 200 to represent the base. But in case of any changes, we do 8 as we are working. And then you can have go sub 300, and this will represent the decor. Our desk has some decorations at the front, and these ones you finish with the keyword end. And then we can start with our labels. Our first label is 100, which represents go sub 100, and the return key. You need to indicate what you are doing. Use a comment. Let's write this as the top. Okay, we can get started. When we do our desk, I'm thinking we should start. This is a panel on its own. This is a panel on its own, and then we can finish with this. All that forms part of the top. So let's start with the first part. The first part, this is our initial point here, and then we come to this point here, we go to the other point, and then to the other point. And let's continue. I'll use a prism. It is hanging. Okay, I'll use a prism. So write prism, we write with a underscore, and then the number of sides, we have 5. If you remember very well from our drawing, so it looks like 4, but we have to do an endpoint. So this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and this is our last point. We have to come back to the start point. And our prism will need the height of the object that we are creating. The height is this one, top thickness. Remember, we are creating the top. So add top thickness, and then we can start creating the object. Our first point here is negative a because it's starting from the edge. So negative a, so negative a, and then for b, so for b, this point here, remember it's already in the positive, so we have to do b divided by 2, then you remove the desk width, which is this length. So come here, you write b divided by 2 minus, so okay, minus, come and remove the desk width. Now always remember with the status of 15. Status of 15 means you can be able to show the edges. Okay, go to the next point. The next point is here. So for us, it will be minus a divided by 2 minus the desk panel width. And let me check what we have. The 600 is yes, side width. Yeah, this should be the side width. So come here. It is minus a divided by 2. Sorry, this should be divided by 2. Plus, remember this time it's plus the side width. Okay, paste, but for b still the same. Okay, go to point number 3. Point number 3, which happens to be here. For a, still the same, but for b, it's at the edge. So we can copy this, copy. A is the same, but for b is without the minus. And then for point number 4 is the same as our first point. Always remember that point number 4 is point number A with a few moderations. So this one, but for messed up here, copy this, and for B you remove the desk width. I can show you. We are here, so B is at the edge, and then copy the first point again, which is our last point, the point that we started with, and convert this to -1. Always check the script, see what is happening. Missing code keyword run 2. Oh, sorry. Yeah, because we've not written the 200 and 300, maybe you need to put them here. Let's just copy, write the labels here. 100, return, 300, return. Let's check. Missing call key, not recommended. 100. Oh, sorry. These are comments. So comment all of this. Let's show that that's our comment. Check. Still the same issue. Oh, return. Oh, so many mistakes. Check. Torah. Sorry. Today I'm making so many mistakes, but it's okay. They're good. You can now check. You see, we've already done that. We are now creating the mid part, and let's start with the writing part. And before I proceed, I've just remember the top part is not at the base level, which is 0. So we need to add z, which is zzx minus this top height. Okay, and also add the material. Material for the top, we say there is the top mat. Okay, we've done the top. Let's go to the mid top. We'll start with the writing pad. And our writing pad again, before I end up here, remember for any add z transformers, you finish with the word delete. And that is fine. Now we go to the writing pad. Writing pad, we use a prism again. Again, it has 5 sides. And the thickness would be the top thickness, which happens to be 50, minus the writing pad thickness. Where we have the writing pad, there are 2 sections. There is the writing pad itself, which is 10 mm, and below it the normal top. And that is what we are creating right now. Okay, after this, we start creating the part. Remember, we are starting from this point, which corresponds to point number 2 of this first section that we created. So if you came here and picked this, you would be correct. Then go to the second point, which is here. We can say that this is a mirror image of this. So all we need is to pick the first point and change a few things. If I forget, let me add spaces. We come here. This becomes A. This becomes minus, but for B remains. Then we come to this point here. Copy this. For A, it's okay, but for B, it will be B minus the desk width minus plus B plus or minus the writing pad width. Writing pad width. I hope I've written it. Seems I forgot. Can write it here. Writing. Sorry. writing pad width. I want it at 350. 350. So get this and include it there. So let's recapture this point. We are coming to this part. So it means we pick the whole of B, divide by 2, remove the desk width, and then again remove the writing pad width. I hope you got that right. Then we pick the first point here. We said point number 4 is always the same as point number 1 with a few changes, and the same changes that we wrote up here for B. And copy everything, copy and replace with this, and then finish with our point number 1, and have this as -1. All you need to remember is that again this writing pad, we'll make a note here so that we don't forget. This is a writing pad area. Again for this we need to add Z because it's at the top, and our Z, add Z will be ZZY minus the top thickness. Okay, check for errors, there is none. Check the 3D. Guys, you can see we've already created this. Let's create the writing pad itself. So again, let me pick this comment. Let's say writing pad bottom. Remember, delete the add Z and copy this, and writing pad top. Again, we use prism, 5 sides, and now this we have a thickness of the writing pad thickness, and I've written the word thickness wrongly without an I. Copy, come and paste here, and we start again. Should be the same. In fact, everything is the same apart from a few things. So this, copy and paste inside here. But now when you come to the add Z, we are doing ZZY minus the writing pad itself, and then we do the keyword delete 1. I believe that's it. Check for errors. Initialize variable by 23. Okay, let me check the error first. Okay, I've gone through my code. I realized we changed the coding for writing pad thickness, and therefore this has an error without an I. I believe we should be good now. Good. Now let's check. You can see this has 2 layers: the lower one and the top one. Now we proceed to creating this area. I'm now creating this part. Point number 4 of this writing pad should be our first point. Come here. Point number 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This one. Just copy and we write another prism. Another prism. 5. And the weakness should be top. Top weakness. And then the first point is that one. That is plus destiny. That is correct. Go to the second point, which is this one. Should correspond to the third point. See how easy sometimes things are. This should be 1, 2, 3. These points. Okay. Third points. And then you go to the other point, which is here. This is at the extreme B, so A is okay, but B to the extreme is okay. Copy this. And then go back to our first point. We copy our first point and just change the position. You see it's at the far edge. That means for B, we'll move everything. Okay, and then copy the first point again, and then -1. And again, remember to put add z. It's ZZY ZX minus the top weakness, and then do a delete 1. Check for errors. Okay, guys, you can see. Let me pull this design so in 3D so that we can be able to see it. So I'll just come here. Let me save this first. Then come to library manager, and add. It's within this block of code. Let me go to my office desks, this one, and choose, and then okay. It may take a while when it loads the drawings, the objects. It's now loaded. Let's put it out. Therefore, come to objects, and then click here. And then you can search for Brisbane. You can see it's here. Click at the side here. See, it's coming out, and then we can check it on 3D. Just highlight and then show my key on 3D. Wow. I'm using ArchiCAD 25. I don't know. Sometimes my computer doesn't render the exact colors, but you do a 3D render for this. We need this part that has the writing part to be in black. I forgot that, so let's come to the writing pad top, the material is this one, writing pad matte. Okay, now let's proceed so that we don't take too much time. Again, I'll need a prism. Now we are doing the third final part of the top. Prism, 5 sides again. Thickness remains the same. You need even to copy the add Z because it's still the same height. And remember to do delete 1. Okay, now let's go to the drawing. You can decide to do it from this corner here. This corner is minus a divided by 2 minus the side width. So come here, it is a divided by 2 minus side width. Okay. And then for B, it's up to the end, so it is minus B divided by 2. Minus B divided by 2, then 15. The second point is all the way to the edge, so it is, you can copy this, paste. It is completely A and minus B. And the third point is also at the edge. Just copy this. So A is okay, but B is positive. Then copy this for number 4. Point number 4. B is now positive. Like that. Then copy this. Paste. And have minus 1. Minus 1 means that's the end of your creation. Let's check for errors. None. Let's check for 3D. Perfect. That's our top. Let's go to, I don't know whether it will update automatically. Yes, it has. But now we have a small error because let me show you the whole thing because the marquee is cutting. We have this. This is what we have, but the black material has reflected in everything just because the material that we are using, if you put that material on one creation, it goes all, anything that comes below, you have that material. That means you need to change the material from here downwards to top matte. Top matte. Let's check. You see, just changed. Now we are done with the top. We need to do the base or the bottom part. We are now at number 200. You can comment here and say the base. And the base starts with what we have in red. This is everything that has in red. That is the desk reds. So we are starting with this point. So come here. Again prism. 5 sides. And the height would be ZZY ZX minus the top thickness. Okay, and then we start with our first point, which is minus A divided by 2 minus, no, plus we remove this section which is side offset, and check the side offset of 30, desk panel side offset, good, that way. And then for B, it's in the positive, so it's B divided by 2. We remove first the desk width, no, and remove again the side offset. That's how it should be. So come here, it is B divided by 2, so B divided by 2 minus, we do the side offset, side width, sorry, minus side width minus the side offset, desk panel offset, this one, and then keyword 15. We go to the other one. You can copy this. For A, we add I didn't write the panel thickness, but should be the same as the top thickness. Let's add this. Copy. Add the top thickness. B remains the same. Copy this point again. A remains, but for B, A will remain because this is the point, but for B it's minus B, no, B divided by 2 minus the side offset. This time we just remove this. Complicated but nice. Copy the first point. Don't forget, point number 1 should be the same as point number 4 with just a small twist. And then remove this side width. Okay, and then copy again point number 1 and finish with minus 1, because that's the end of our creation. Check scripts. It's okay. Go here. You can see our leg. I want to keep showing you our 3D as it updates. Yes, you see, I can see a small error here. Let me check where the error is, because it should come all the way to the end. Let me check first the error. I've checked my errors, and we've made a very silly mistake. We've used side width instead of the desk width. Remember, our desk width is 800, not 600. So replace this and this and this, and then we need this as minus. Okay, let's go over it again. As you can see, to get to this point, you need b divided by 2 minus the whole of the desk width, and then minus again the desk panel offset. I believe we are good now. Let's save. Let's save and check our 3D, and there we go. The two sides balance quite well. Now let's build the front panel. We call it the modesty. So we come here. Let's do comment modesty. Modesty. Again, you need a prism. 5 sides, and the height would be ZZ Y ZX minus, we remove 2 items. There is the offset, because normally it doesn't start from the bottom, it has an offset, which is this one, plus the top thickness. Okay, and then we can start creating. Our first point here is the same as the second point of our first part. So come here, pick the second point here, paste. This is okay, but for B it is B minus. You need to remove this, remove this and this. So we've already said that the offset, we measure it's 150, and we check from our measurements. The 150 is this desk panel front offset. Copy, come here, B, pick this first, plus the top thickness. Okay, I believe that should be okay. Copy this, paste. This should be a mirror image. Remember, this is a mirror image. This point and this are mirror images of each. So our A becomes positive, then you have a minus, and then B remains. Copy this, paste. A remains, but for B we need now to remove the top thickness. Copy the first point, remove the top thickness, then the first point copied again, and then here we have -1. And then because the modesty is hanging a bit from the ground level, you need add z modesty offset, and then we delete the transformation, delete one, check for errors. It's okay. Let's save. Let's check from our 2D view. 2D view. Yes, you can see it. Let's check our 3D. Guys, you can see our desk is coming out quite well. Now let's create the last parts of the desk, and that is this one, this one, and then the shelf area. Oh, the shelf area will be created on its own. So let's create this other part again. We come here, we write resin 5, and the height still remains as the first one. Okay, we get the first point. You can start here. This is exactly a divided by 2 minus the offset, and then the width, the thickness of the top. So write a divided by 2, a divided by 2 minus into we need the desk panel offset plus the top thickness, and then b is the edge, so b divide b minus b divided by 2, and then 15. We can copy our first point here. That means a is now minus this, b stands, copy again. I'm not even checking because I know we are now at that point here. A stands but b we change. A stands but b is b minus the offset. Then bring your first point, and A stands, B is this one, and then we copy our first point, and then we change this to -1. Let's check for errors. We're good. We save. Let's check from here. Yes, you can see the leg is there. Let's check the 3D. Perfect, guys. Can you see? Our desk has really shaped up. Now let's do the other panels. Then we do the shelf on its own. So what we need right now is this panel. Let me show you. We need this panel. Yes, that's the one. So again, we do a prism 5 points, height stands the same, and then we check which point you want to start with. We can start with this point here. It is A divided by 2 minus the side width, then minus the offset. Let's check. A divided by 2, A divided by 2 minus side width minus the desk panel offset. Then for B, it's just minus B divided by 2, 15. Can copy this. Then you come to the other point. So we are now here. This point will be A divided by 2 minus the offset and the thickness of the top. So A becomes you check, you remove this desk panel offset plus top thickness. B remains the same. Then copy this, paste. For B, you only add the thickness, top thickness, copy the first point, paste, add the thickness, and then finish, copy this, -1. Check for errors, there's none. Save. Let's see what we have. Yes, I can see it. Let's see the 3D. Guys, our desk is really taking shape. Let's do the mid panel. The middle panel. I'm talking about this one. Use the line. Fill this one. This is the one we are creating. So come here. Again, prism 5, same thickness, okay. As you can see, our first point here is just the same as what we did here, so you can copy the first code, copy, paste. But for B, we have to do some few changes. B would be minus the top thickness and then the shelf width. I don't know whether that one is included in the parameter. Shelf width we haven't, so let's do it here. Shelf width. Copy, paste. 600. Let's copy this. And then B plus, you said this plus the top thickness. Okay, so copy this. In terms of A, should be equal to the second point here. But for B remains, copy this. A, the point number 3, we're here. So for B, we add, for B, we add two thicknesses, top thicknesses. Copy the first point. Just remove A stands, but for B, you copy, this becomes times 2. You copy that, and for B, you say times 2. Okay, and then copy the first point, minus here, minus 1. Check for errors, correct, save. You can just go directly to a 3D. Yep, guys, you can see our desk has really shaped up. Now I want us first to do the design at the front. So our design at the front, we are gonna use 300. We said 300 is for design. So make a comment, decoration. Okay, and then we can proceed. For our decoration, these are panels that are stacked to the front panel but spaced equally. So we don't need, we just create one and use a loop. And we normally use what you call the for loop. And the first thing that we need to do is to consider, oh, sorry, I didn't do the, let me do the front view for our desk. Return this. Okay, and then we can check our section. Oh, here we are. The first thing that we need to consider is the available space for our design. Our space is from here to here, which is about 510. And this can be accounted by getting the whole height, removing the top, and removing the desk offset, the modesty offset. So we come here, we write available space is equal to ZZYZX minus top thickness plus the modesty Y offset. Okay, now we need to determine how many numbers of these items or decorations do we need. So we'll go by dividing. You can call them bays. You need to consider the number of bays. Bays are the levels that we have for this design. And for us to get that, we need to, let's call it deco base to be equal to the available space divided by the n decors, which I have indicated should be 6. In fact, the base is also referring to the spacing between each bay and the other. Okay, then we proceed, we add Z because they are not starting from the bottom, and then we need to add, first of all, we'll add this distance, which is the modesty. This is the modesty offset. Okay, plus you need the deco spacing. This deco base now this one deco base plus, now this one I normally get from their notes, the GDL notes. You have to do the deco base plus I times the deco base. I've never understood about this, but it works. Then this time I'll use a H prism. I'm using a H prism because I want my objects to have rounded edges. I don't want them very sharp. So, and the H prism uses 4 materials. The H prism requires 4 materials. That should be the top, one side, the other side, and the bottom. I'll come here and see what is my deco material. This is the one. So I'll paste 4 materials: deco 1, deco 2, deco 3, and deco 5. Then ask myself, how many sides does this object have? It has 5. Let's start to the bottom. And then what would be the height? The height would be deco base of each plus minus the deco spacing. Okay, then we need the heel angle. Heel angle, heel angle, heel height, and the status. Height and the heel status. Okay, then we start constructing our item. The first item, remember they are starting at the front here. So it should start from this point, and this point is the same as, I don't know whether I can remember, the second point of the first panel. Let's check and see whether it can remember modesty, or even the first point of the modesty. Yeah, this is it. So come here. Let's push this all the way and put it here. Okay, that's the first point of the modesty. Then we mirror because it's on the other side. So copy this. So this becomes positive with the minus here. Copy this. So for B, it will be a desk panel. We remove this. We remove now, instead of top thickness, we are removing the decor thickness. Copy. Yes, that's it. The decor thickness. Copy the first point. Copy. Paste. Then copy this. Replace with this one. Then copy the first point again. Paste. Make this -1. And then because we've added add z, we'll need to delete 1, and because of our loop, we'll need next I. So it should be small letters, and I believe that's it. Check. Wrong loop nesting. Okay, let's see where the problem is. Let me check whether where the error is, then I'll be back. Line 120. Oh, let me check first. Oh, sorry, I've just realized we didn't put the for loop. We should come immediately after the decor base. So it is for I is equals to 1, 2, the end decors. Not enough parameters. I think, oh sorry, we need to delete this also. Check. We are good. And we also need the material for the decor. So material, no, sorry, we already have, sorry. That's it. Okay, we save. Let's see whether our magic has worked. Oh, okay. Here we are. Let me check where the error is. I've gone through my code, and the mistake is here. You should remove not plus, minus, save. Perfect. And you can see our decor. Here we go. Perfectly done. I decided to put a screaming color so that you can be able to see our decoration. I also feel the thickness is too much. Let's see where the problem is. The thickness also has an issue. I just realized we didn't have to be, remember our struts, I normally call them struts, are starting from here, this corner, which is 150, and 150 from our coding or our parameters is where it's the desk panel front offset. So come here, we should remove this also, and also remove it from the last point, and I believe we are good to go now. Let's check. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted. You can see for yourselves, exactly like I wanted. Maybe the only issue I can see there, although not a big issue, the heel height, we can change a bit. The heel height is 5. Let's try like 3. Yes, we can have it that way. Now, after this, we need now to create the shelf, and that will be our last item. We'll just do one shelf. That will be within this area. Let me show you between here and here. So let's go to the code. GD. We include it here. Go sub 400 shelf. The beauty of having the go subs is that you can now be able to hide. If you want to hide the top, it becomes very easy. So always take it as a good practice to consider them. So let's do a comment, shelf, and write 400, return. Then I can have prism, 5 sides. Okay, for the thickness of our shelf, you can set to the go with the same as the decor thickness, and then we can start. Our first point is here, which corresponds to the panels at the side panel, the first point here. So let me check the panel, the last panel that we created. Modesty should be this one, if I'm not wrong. Okay, let's check for B. B is minus B minus the top plus, minus B plus. So remove this. Perfect. Then you move to the other side. This time we just remove the side width. B remains. Let's see whether we are correct. No, we need to remove the offset and the side width. Remove the all that's all place top width. Okay, B remains. Then come here, copy, A is okay, but for B it's minus B plus the top width and the shelf width. Let's check the code for shelf width. Shelf width, yes, is the one. Add it here. Copy the first line of code. And then copy this. Like that. And then copy the first item, paste. Remember to put -1 because that's the end of our construction. Check for errors, missing core key, and 6. Macro shelf call.run. Oh, sorry, we didn't put the comment. Perfect. We save. We go to a 3D. And then you can check for a shelf. Okay, the shelf is there, but we don't need it at the bottom. You can do it an offset as of the same as what you have for the modesty. So you come here, go to a code, shelf, add Z, modesty panel, modesty Z offset, and then any transformation, do a delete. Depending on the number of transformations within a code. You saved, and that's our shelves. And guys, isn't this beautiful? I could have gone further and added a grommet for airing. And here guys, this is the final picture of what we've been doing. From all these scripts to this floor plan to this 3D, and then the picture that we have is here. I'll clear this picture using another program called Lightroom, make it look better. Thank you.